The new channel. The new channel. Hashtag TNC Now.
The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following shows are those of the host, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello!
Hi!
Hi! Hello and welcome to the new channel. Our passion transforms a community channel that sees all things new. I am Lord J. Cuyataz, Rogelio Estacio Jr., hailing from the land of milk and honey, streaming from Wellington, New Zealand, Kia ora koutou katoa from Aotearoa, and I am with...
Yes, I am your small J, Jao Jundan, your nurse from the land down under, live streaming from the capital city of Australia, Canberra. Good evening, Chi Chatters. You're watching season 1 of episode 12, or baliktad, of season episode 12 of Chill and Charity Fridays, but I am making a difference.
Ayan, happy Friday, Chi Chatters! Great things start from small beginnings. And so today or tonight, wherever you are, whatever time zones you have, we start simply by believing that you and I, no matter how big or small you are, we can all make a difference.
Yes, and charity begins at home and extends to the communities beyond our walls. Cheers and welcome to the 12th episode of Chill and Charity Fridays by I Am Making a Difference, or simply Chicha Fridays by I Am At on TNC, where we talk about love, living, learning, and of course, the magic of volunteerism.
At Chicha Fridays, we believe in the power of the simplest smiles that can lighten the mood and the smallest acts of kindness that can brighten the world. Let's do good, feel good, and talk good.
Yes, for those who have just tuned in, join us every Friday at 6:30 p.m. Philippine Standard Time as we make the start of your every weekend habit lighter and lovelier with conversations that go far beyond politics and chismis.
And yes, you're watching Chicha Fridays by I Am Mad para sa masayang bayanihan, chill na talakayan, charity at kulitan. Chi Chatters, Small J, mad ka na ba? Mad na! Yes!
Yes!
Alam mo ba, ilang days na lang before Christmas?
Ilang days na lang ba?
36 Ayan. 36 days na lang before
Oh my
Christmas.
God,
Sana
malapit
naman ready na kayo
na.
sa ating mga Christmas
Oh
shopping at
my
sa mga regalo.
God! 36 days na lang. Nauna na yung
Hello.
pagkano ko ng ulo kanina.
Kakatawa ka.
Sorry
Ayan,
naman.
thank you very much,
Ayan.
Direk, sa pag-flash ng 36 days na lang. And of course, we would like to acknowledge and thank you, Tita Apple Esplana Manansala, Chief Executive Producer of TNC and her production and technical team. And I am Mad Content Creators Team, Ruth Macowino, I am Sarah, and the rest of the J's, Madmates, volunteers, and friends all around the world. Diba, Small
Yes.
J?
Totoo. And madlang viewers and listeners are chi-chatters kumbaga. We encourage you to share this live stream, comment, write any message, questions, reactions, shout-outs to tell us where you are watching from.
Yes, we would love to interact with you guys. So comment lang kayo ng comment. And sometimes yung mga comments nyo makikita rin namin down below
Sa ilalim.
at babasahin namin siya. And of
Yes.
course, it's time for our Bida Eskwela update. Before
Mhm.
anything else, just a quick update on our Bida Eskwela Year 2 fundraising implementations. Alam mo ba, Small J?
Hindi pa nga
42
eh.
out of 46 school beneficiaries or 93.33%. Actually, 93.33333% have
My
fully completed
God!
their
Na-complete mo
implementations.
yun!
Two have implemented it but with pending documentation, and the remaining two still have to start implementing it. May madadagdag ka ba
Yes.
doon?
Oh, and this week, we received the documentation from the Valugan Integrated School in Basco, Batanes, which was run by Typhoon Kiko in September. Grabe. With our Bida Eskwela initiative, matatawa ko sa'yo. We were able to fund their school printing supplies for the modules of the Ivatan learners that included 22 reams of A4 bond papers. A4 ha, hindi short, hindi long. A4.
True.
6
Mm-mm.
bottles of printer ink and 1 roll of duct tape.
Yes. Kaya naman for other updates on the actual proceeds and implementations, check out bit.ly/bidatracker or visit our Facebook page at fb.com/imakingdifference for more details.
Yes, again with hearts full of thanksgiving and for the nth time from the bottom of our hearts, from Villa Escuela Corti and from all of us, I'm making it
Tuwang-tuwa ka?
Sa tagal ko nawala, so grabe yung emotional outburst ka akin. We wanna say madaming salamat po from our partners, donors, including the new channel, our volunteers and friends. You are all part of this success. To God be all the glory.
Yes, sobrang saya po ni Small
Kasi
Jason na.
ang hirap dun hirap pag-uwi ng tawa ko, nakaka-stress.
And yes, alam mo ba, mas lalo kang sasaya, I think,
Oh,
dito sa
bakit?
topic natin for tonight because it's
Oh,
about experiences, creating
yes.
experiences differently. Alam mo yun, specifically, setting sights on hyper-local experiences that really matter to people, that deliver real value and human connections and at the same time, contribute to the community.
Yes,
Oh,
and
sumaya
syempre
ka ba?
oo, sumaya ako dun. Tawang-tawa nga ako eh. So ito nga, at dahil yan ang topic natin, napaka-credible nitong ating guest for tonight na related dyan sa topic natin ngayon.
Kumbaga, walang ibang pwedeng i-invite about this topic, siya
Wala!
lang.
Oo, siya lang. Siya
Mm.
lang talaga yung parang it meets the criteria. It meets the criteria. So, ito nga. So, he is the co-founder and CEO of Experience Philippines. Ano ba yung Experience Philippines? Big
Ni-research ko yan.
Oh, good.
Pero
At
siya na
travel,
ipag-explainin natin.
siya na mag-explain mamaya. It is a travel startup that offers hyper-local travel experiences that encourages immersive exploration through online and on-ground gamified experiences where you experience points and rewards with every successful mission or quest with surprise gifts.
Yes, Experience Philippines is one of the top 3 winners of the National Startup Competition by Idea Space Foundation in 2019. And his dream is to cultivate a community that fosters genuine human connections, inspires curiosity, and deep appreciation of being Filipino. Di ba, Jao?
Yeah, so please welcome our guest for tonight, Kuya Gian Gallegos, or Kuya Gian for short.
Hello, Gian!
Hello.
Hi, Kuya Gian.
Last baka Kuya Gian, grabe.
Ay, sorry.
Sorry, mad culture kasi yun. Sana,
Dahil kasi
na
tinatawag namin kuya and ate.
lahat kuya.
Talaga,
and
ganun
ate.
ba? Am I actually, can you hear me pretty well naman, no? So I
Yes.
suppose you can hear me
We
pretty
can
well.
hear
Alright,
you
cool.
okay.
Great.
Kamusta naman? Nasa
Ayos
Baguio
naman.
ka?
Yes,
Malamig?
Ang galing mo pala malaman sa Baguio siya.
mainit sa Baguio, grabe.
Mainit.
Hindi, joke,
Okay.
malamig.
Yes,
Malamig
and
sa
welcome to
Baguio.
the shows. And
Thank you very much for inviting me. I appreciate it.
yes, and hopefully maraming chit-chatters na mag-join sa atin ngayon at makisali sa ating light and casual conversation. Pero before natin simulan lahat yan, meron kaming mahalagang katunungan sa iyo at sa ating mga chit-chatters. So chit-chatters, Gian, mad ka na ba?
Mad na!
Yeah!
At least alam ni Gian.
Buti alam ko!
Oo.
Pag tinanong mo ako kanina siguro, baka may isipin ko,
Nag-isip siya,
Anong mad?
Bakit pagalitan ba nila ako or something?
Ay, nako. So syempre, para makilala ka ng ating mga chit-chatters, Gian, pakilala tayo in a GTKY. So sa MAD kasi, nagpapakilala yung mga new volunteers. We introduce ourselves, getting to know you way. So what's your full name and your nickname? Where are you from originally and your current location? What keeps you busy, syempre, aside from your work? And anything favorite or interesting that you're willing to share with us and our audience for tonight?
So, ang dami na parang
Oo.
dapat to keep track of what you said. So, My full name is actually Gian Carlo Gallegos. I'm actually called Gian, or the people call me my other name that I actually use is Banyo Thoughts, because I have my own Facebook page called Banyo Thoughts, where I come up with like really stupid stuff about
Mm.
thoughts. I'm currently based in Baguio, but I actually hail from Quezon City, Philippines. So
Mm.
what do I do? Not working. I love reading. I love doing reviews for webtoons and novels. So I read a lot. So I do read Chinese and Korean novels a lot. Like a lot. And I cook as well. I suppose. Yeah, I think those are the. And I'm actually also learning Filipino sign language. It's one of the things I'm
Oh,
currently
yan.
doing now. So
Mm.
because that's part of our advocacy as well in Experience Philippines. So yeah,
Right.
those are basically the small things that I'm doing.
Nice,
Nice.
Yeah.
nice.
Small things pero ang dami.
Oo, tsaka multi-talented pala 'to si Gian, ano.
True, true.
Multi-talented.
Hindi
Sana.
naman niya inano 'no, hindi
No,
naman niya
Mata-
pinag
Huwag niyo
an,
naman,
ako
huwag niyo naman
multi-talented
tumayo.
ako, eh.
multi-talented talaga naman talaga ako. Aminado na dyan.
Nice. So yung topic nga natin ngayon is about creating experiences differently, and we would actually tackle specifically yung mga activities nyo and yung everything about your organization called Experience Philippines, no? So before natin malaman entirely about it, we would like to get to know more about you. Like, who is Gian Gallegos? Like, how are you growing up as a kid? Were you like already exploratory and a discoverer person that led you to this kind of work and advocacy, ika nga? And ganun ka ba habang lumalaki that you would be like to travel
Hmm.
and experience places and all that?
Okay, siguro that's a very interesting question. Nobody asked me that before. But
Mm.
yeah, I think that I think because I have ADHD, I'm diagnosed with ADHD. So I think that's probably one reason why I'm also more cannot be contained in one area or
Mm.
not doing anything. So
Mm.
the I think this I think C Big J, tama ba Big J? Lord
Small
J,
J.
but
Small
it's
J.
Lord like
Lord J
Lord
ako,
J, so
small
Lord
J
J,
yan.
So Lord J. I think that's probably I can connect it with New Zealand, because New Zealand was really a turning point in my life when I
Mm.
was there, because I decided to study there because I wanted to experience really differently about how life is like outside of the
Mhm.
Philippines. But my folks are from the US, so I really wanted somewhere else that I can actually learn. But more than anything, I'm a big fan of Peter Jackson. So that's the reason why I'm a big fan of Lord of the
Ah.
Rings. That's the reason why I went there. And so and actually my experience there led me to really create or come up with something like Experience Philippines without any having an idea na magiging business siya or magiging community based siya. No? Because when I met my friends there, in New Zealand, and those are really the good friends that I actually made. To be
Mm.
honest, no, more than the ones that I've made previously in the Philippines before I left for New Zealand. No, so they were really authentic, and they really didn't care about who you are, no, your background, whether your family is last name is this or you own this business or anything like that. So I think it was more of a really who you are as a person, and I wanted something similar to that in the Philippines. So when I came back to the Philippines, really, it was one of the most difficult things. Reason being is because medyo judgmental ang mga, I'm speaking for myself, my experience. I'm not saying that generally Filipinos are like
Mm.
that, but medyo judgmental kasi ang mga
Mm.
Pinoy when
Mm.
it comes to,
Oo.
I think your background, your last
True.
name, whether you have a
Mm.
car or you're married or
Your
I don't know,
school and
whether
all
your
that.
school,
Yeah,
whether
where
you
you
come,
come
yeah,
from.
yeah,
Mm.
and then I'm also a part of the LGBT community, so that's one of the difficult things coming
Mm.
back here is yes, the people are more tolerant rather than
Yes, you're more
accepting.
open. Yeah.
Yeah, so rather than accepting of who you are, so it took me a while to really adjust. So when I came back here, my friend from the US, Chris, came also here, and we went out.
Shout
We went
out to
out
Chris. Hi, Chris.
yeah,
Hi,
so
Chris.
we went out and traveled around the Philippines, and then and I brought all my friends from Europe and everything. So I was exploring the Philippines, and then one of the conversations I had with him was really, how do I make friends here? So it's like really like the most random things. So we were having coffee. It's like, ang hirap na makapagkaibigan dito sa Pilipinas. Kasi nga, medyo, parang masyadong mga, I think, medyo
Mm.
judgmental yung mga tao. So, and then we came up with the idea that why don't I organize like an activity, like a trip without you knowing the destination. So it's kind of a random road trip without any destination in mind, and you don't know where you're gonna go, you don't know who you're gonna be with, you don't know what's gonna happen. So perfect recipe for a disaster. So that's how Experience Philippines came about.
Yeah.
So
Cool. So
and
I
that's
think that
yeah.
was the story of ano na rin, no, of of Experience Philippines, no, na how and when did it start. Pero what is the ultimate goal, Gian, of the foundation of this Experience Philippines, and who are your targets specifically, if they are, or is it just, random people who wants to go travel, or you know?
I think the what we made in Experience Philippines is really primarily first as a community that's inclusive. I
Mhm.
think that's one of the primary visions that we have, or goal that we have. Um, that's an inclusive environment for people who are like me, who have ADHD, who's probably who's part of the LGBT community, who um, who's an introvert and all that stuff. So and then that's basically what we attracted as well. We attracted those kinds of people who were similar to us. In fact, my co-founder, si Jeff, is actually also with my first friends here. All have ADHD. We're all classified with ADHD, and Jeff is one of them. He's my co-founder, my best friend here in the Philippines, who also has ADHD. And then I think that's how it started. So then it became slowly became a community. So we started attracting people who are like us, I suppose,
Yeah.
who are a bit different, who are a bit like crazy, who doesn't can't sit still, stuff like that.
Yes, and nakakatuwa 'no, and pretty much inspiring kasi through, yung mga ganyang advocacies, and movements, nagno-normalize yung certain things na merong stigma before, like,
Yes.
LGBT, ADHD, mental health, and everything na before hindi naman yan gano'n ka-normalize as topics especially sa
Mm.
Philippines, 'di ba? And yeah, nakakatuwa yung value in inclusivity that you have like injected or actually naging core nung ginagawa niyo dun sa Experience Philippines. Gian, how is Experience Philippines contributing further or making a difference? Kasi our organization is called I Am Making a Difference, diba? We'd just like to see how Experience Philippines does that in your own way. And do you have any other initiatives that geared towards charitable or collaborations with the community from a social collaboration or
Point of
entrepreneurship
view.
perspective?
Yeah, I think that's one of like, if you go, I mean, both of you guys are from Australia and from New Zealand, and then you probably would have friends who probably visited here, and then they would probably read about the places to visit would be Boracay, Siargao, or on El
Mm.
Nido, and all these other provinces, which is
Mhm.
what basically Department of Tourism is really pushing and
Mhm.
highlighting more often. But when I came here, I really made it the point to travel around all the 81 provinces. So basically, I visited 74 of all the provinces in the
Nice.
country. So
Wow.
and then my objective really is like, it's not so much to highlight the popular destinations, but those destinations that do have amazing, uh, sites, amazing things you can do, amazing people. So these are the not so common places to visit. So one of the highlights, or one of the core values, is really to bring money to
Mm.
local communities. So instead of spending it to really like established hotels or
Yeah.
resorts, which they can easily do marketing on their own, we prefer to do homestays, to do like to go to the mga far flung areas that are may not have the same luxuries as like beachfronts that you would normally see in mga Boracay or Palawan, but these places do have their own charm as
Yes.
Mhm.
well. And we wanted to do that. We wanted to help. Kasi parang sa akin, sayang, you wanted to give the farmers, you wanted to give the host the money instead of
Mm.
giving it to like big establishments. So, and our concept is really experiential. So hindi lang naman siya about sightseeing, which is
Yeah.
normally how we view travel. It's really about the senses. So the sense of touch, the sense of taste, the sense of sight, the sense of hearing. So
Mhm.
transportation makes a big difference. What food you eat makes a big difference. So we try to make sure that we have all these elements in the experiences, so that you actually go back, when you go back home, you have may baon ka ng mas madaming memories, no? So mas
Totoo.
enjoyable. So
Yes,
yan ang goal na namin,
that's
no?
nice.
So
And with all of the discoveries that you've had, Shanta, you've visited 74 provinces, that's what you said, Kian. So if you can share any insights or discoveries about what you call the experience economy, especially in this time of pandemic, no? How did you cope up with the with the downturn, since you are in a travel focused entity? What
that's
is
a good that's a good question. No, one of the
Wow.
Ganda na
when
tanong ko.
pinag-isipan mo ba talaga yan?
Oo, pinag-isipan ko talaga yan.
Kanya galing
Delikado.
yan.
Ngayon lang
As
dumating sa isip ko.
talaga? Okay. So, maganda ko yan. Kasi 2019, we won, last quarter of 2019, we won the 2019 startup competition, nationwide competition in the Philippines. There were three of us who won. So two of those who won are actually in the travel field. So, syempre excited ka, 2020, you're
Mm.
gearing up for 2020. Then nag-pandemic. Tanda ko pa yung birthday ko pa yata
Yeah.
yun eh.
Yeah.
So March na bigla lang nag-announce na bawal lumabas. Parang I think that was very very traumatic for me, even for a person who has ADHD and has all these plans though. So there was a point, and I'm just saying this because I always tell this to when people interview me. No, at that point of my life, actually, I almost committed suicide. That was like
Oh no.
highlights of my 2020. And it's a good thing we have a therapist who actually called lang by chance at that day that I was thinking about it already. No, I was planning to do it now, and I was saved basically. And then that turned around in the third quarter of. It took me a while. Siguro it took me maybe siguro mga that was siguro mga 6 months before I actually recovered. So 2020
Mm.
was very tough year for me, and then you going with what you were asking me kanina about, how I pivoted, how I turned it. I actually started, sabi nga nila, pag wala ka, kung wala kang nararamdaman, mas maganda magbigay ka. Like you try to give something, no? Kasi that's one,
Mm.
and you have to express gratitude. So what I did is I started what I call delivering happiness. So I came up with the hashtag deliver happiness, and I started coming out with what I call surprise mystery boxes. We used to do that, but we want this time we made it into a more formalized, and then we started putting it into relationships. So jowa gift box, asawa gift box, sana all gift box, mga ganyan, or salamat sa'yo gift box. So, and this was actually another way, since wala kang revenue. This is one way that we can actually generate revenue na para lang makasurvive kami for 2020, no. And it turned out
Mm.
pretty well. I didn't realize that it would actually click. So
Mm.
there were people who ordered from abroad. Ang majority of our clients were actually mga LDR. So they were giving
Mm.
away, they were sending their jowas here in the Philippines, mga gift boxes. And primarily, majority of them are actually LGBT as well. So which is kind of cool. And then may mga secret admirer naman, mga babae na papadala sa mga lalaki, tapos
Mm.
may time na sinagot na rin ng guy. And then may
That's
mga
nice.
nag-break up rin.
Interesting.
So there's a lot of stories, and because of those stories that I got during the time, because they would always chat and share their stories whenever they receive boxes. I think that helped me recover. And then my
Mm.
best friend asked me to move to, maybe sabi niya sa akin, maybe if you want to live with me and my wife here in Baguio for just for you to recover and recalibrate. The house is open for you. So that's why I moved into Baguio and then changed it. And I think that's how also we started gamifying also the travel experience. I think
Mm.
yun na yung timeline nun. So yun na yung mga developments over the past months.
Nice. So at least talaga nag-play
Nakaka-stress
out naman.
nakaka-stress si Mako kasi nagsabi ng 10 minutes pa, guys.
Hindi, nagtatanong kasi yung time. 10 minutes pa, hindi 10 minutes na lang. So this at tawag dito, at least nag-play out naman according to kumbaga nagawa ng paraan. Kumbaga may ways talaga for us to be able to adapt, no. Now, looking forward ngayon, do you have like any preparations for the so-called like revenge traveling kapag ka naman na wala na yung mga travel restrictions and everyone gustong-gusto nang mag-travel? Meron ba
You
kayong
know,
ganun preps?
although we are very much part of the travel industry, we operate different from the travel industry. Kasi that's, I I'm a big, proponent of really not, that height idea of revenge travel. But in my case kasi I'm not into that like, hi, sige, yung gagastos yung parang madami nang gusto mag-travel, so take advantage of that, that
Right.
funnel, no?
Mm.
Mine kasi is really like it's much more long term. My mindset is long term, and that's why we're introducing the first. Well, I think it's the first. I'm not sure it's being done, but I haven't heard anyone doing it. It's really the gamification of travel or gamification of experiences, travel experiences. So, like for example, if you come here, a simple. I wish I can share the videos, but it's like there are. Because I'm a big fan of mga RPG games, so the concept is basically you do quests and then for you to explore destinations and actually meet new people, which is the core of Experience Philippines. So you can actually help small business owners, hobbyists, people who are doing amazing stuff that are not in the big marketplace platform. They can actually become your quest givers, and they actually can try out their experiences. Like say one person is doing pottery and then wala siyang way to attract people to go and teach the workshop on pottery. So pwedeng mo siyang gawing quest, and then so that people are more interested, and there's an incentive for doing the quest because like every quest in any game, you have to receive a reward for doing the quest. So it's the same concept
Mm.
that we do have here. So there is that's why the mystery boxes or the gift boxes are attached to the quest as a reward. So you can either earn points for it or you can actually earn actually a physical, treasure chest, so to speak.
Yes. So, this is a lot of no, sobrang ganda ng mga information na bibigay sa atin ni Gian. Pero, in conclusion, what are the valuable realizations or learnings or advice na pwede mong ibigay sa ating mga listeners na to? And if you have any final words na makakapag-inspire sa ating mga chit-chatters ngayon, no, na nakikinig sa atin, what would you say to them?
Ah, ayun ko, hindi ko alam. Ano bang magandang advice?
Also in relation to having this platform of that of traveling, of being ready, of this you have a lot of uncertainties in the community at the moment. So how can you
Hmm.
lift their spirit up of just go and sabi mo nga, diba, you had that suicidal attempt then, so probably people going through
I don't know. I
depression.
mean, I cannot speak. I mean, siguro sa akin, what I did was siguro the I think you just have to be very take things one step at a time. I don't know. It maybe sounds really funny, but I guess I cannot think of kasi I don't want to think anymore of the future, like the next day. I just want to live for the day because for those who don't know, I actually kaya mas delikado sa akin yung all these things are happening aside from AG. I have a heart condition pa. So aside from that, I have nagka-COVID ako because of my heart condition. Mas malala yung COVID sa akin. So madami kong near death experiences. So it makes you think na ay, wag mo na talaga isipin talaga yung tomorrow. You just really focus on what you can do today and what you can give today. So
Yes,
I think
just
that will
cherish the
be
moment, no, at present.
oh, I think that's like maybe sa akin, no? Like you really don't regrets, hashtag no regrets. That's what we always use naman in Experience Philippines rin. So yun. Ayan, nasagot ko na po, Mako.
Yes, totoo naman. Oh, 'di ba, Lord Jay, naka-mute ka pa. Parang naka-mute si Lord Jay.
Sorry, nakamute ba ako?
Ayan, ang galing
Ayan.
mo.
Sorry, sabi ko. Small J, ang mga key takeaways ko dito is that sobrang saya at sobrang halaga ng inclusivity value
Yes,
in terms of like the
totoo.
different advocacies and or the maybe businesses that we do. And iba talaga yung inspiration na makukuha mo if you actually bank on the unique interests and ideas that you have because parang hindi siya masyadong, it doesn't feel too much work masyado because you're like enjoying while you're doing it. And at the same time, nakakatulong ka pa dun sa the community, no? So nakakatuwa yung
Yeah.
mga ganun.
Yes, ako siguro yun din, yung inclusivity na nata-take in. Kasi sabi nga natin, di ba, tayong tatlo, we've lived in different countries outside the Philippines and we've witnessed how open people are outside the Philippines. And, until now, syempre, sabi nga ni Gian, they're tolerating but they're not accepting of the differences. But hopefully soon, di ba, sana, tayo mismo dyan sa bansa natin magkaroon na ng understanding of this, of a stigmatized things sa mundo na hindi naman dapat. Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, so before tayo pumunta dun sa ating fun talk segment, Gian, if they would like to know more about Experience Philippines, yung gusto nila, or about you, where can they follow you? Ano yung mga website or social media pages?
Well, you can actually go and check out our website, www.experience.ph. It's actually it's really the gamified website already. So you can actually create an account and you actually earn points already for that. So, and then the other one is I would drive people always to the community because it's really a very helpful community. Walang drama. So that's Experience Philippines. You can actually go check it out on Facebook groups. It's actually just basically Experience Philippines. And then you can actually follow us in our social media handle, which is actually Experience Philippines and in Facebook and Instagram, TikTok, ano ba? Lahat na. It's
Lahat
YouTube.
na. Friendster.
It's the same. Wala pang
MySpace.
wala namang Friendster.
All right. So thank you very much for that. Okay, meron tayong quick fun segment specifically prepared for you, Gian. So we're
Go lang.
representing 3 countries here. You're from the Philippines, ako sa New Zealand, and si Jao, Australia. I will just say several categories. And then yung sa category na yon, ano yung top of mind place or destination na may isip nyo in your specific country that will offer like a hyper local experience. Right? So kapag specific category na yun. So mabilis lang ito.
May pagka-quiz pala to, no?
Magka-quiz to. Okay, so siguro ang gawin natin, mauna si Jao, tapos ako, tapos ikaw sa Philippines.
Sige.
Okay.
Alright, start natin. Kapag if you're on a quest for food, the best food in the country, Jao, Australia.
Siguro food would be Sydney. Kasi Sydney or here in Canberra kasi napaka-multicultural ng Canberra. Different diverse cultural background. So yung food dito, iba't iba rin, may from Indian cuisine, Asian cuisine, European cuisine. So I think Canberra ako.
Marami nagsasabi dito na Wellington daw is kind of like the food capital, pero iba pa rin yung Auckland, I think.
Hindi ako naniniwala dyan!
Diba? Hindi rin ako naniniwala eh. So Auckland pa rin
Hindi.
yung best bet ko for food because diversity of food at saka yung maraming mga hole in the walls at saka yung mga cheap eats na talagang quality. So for me, kung magpunta kayo sa New Zealand, Auckland is the food destination. Philippines.
I'm biased. I'm a big fan of Bicol Express. So I can eat Bicol Express every day. So I would say Bicol. But yeah, so for food lang. So
Bicol, okay. How about sites and architecture? Jao.
Sites and architecture, Sydney yan. Kasi nandun yung Sydney Opera House, Darling Harbour. Yes, I think I'll go for Sydney.
For me here, I'll go to Christchurch. Na kahit na naging
Christchurch.
kahit na nagkaroon sila ng earthquake na major before, they were able to preserve some of the old architecture and structure. Philippines, Gian.
Good question. I would say in terms of historical, I would say Iloilo. Yeah, that would be a good. It's a very historical. I think that the Visayas region has a lot of that. But if you want really unique one, I would say Mindanao. Like really unique for Muslim influence, yeah.
Right. At saka sa Iloilo, ang ganda ng esplanade nila.
Mas maganda. Aside from that, mas madami pang mas maganda sa Iloilo, to be honest.
Yeah. Next one would be if any big event like concert, sports, or ano yung destination na usually
siguro ako Melbourne. Kasi diba nandun yung
Australian
I love
Open.
Melbourne. Melbourne the best.
Australian Open. Right. Ako dito siguro experience watching a rugby in like a stadium like Mount Eden or Sky Stadium kasi rugby is the biggest sport here, no? So yun yung isa sa mga things na must do siguro, must try. But I haven't tried it yet. Sa Philippines.
Oh, good question. For a big event, definitely siguro Manila would be.
MOA
No. Sorry. I would say Clark now. The Clark, where they held the new Clark, where they held the Asian
APEC man.
The Asian
Games.
Asian Games.
Yeah, SEA Games.
SEA Games is beautiful.
Right. Nature. Jao.
Nature. Gusto ko Tasmania. Kasi gusto ko yung
marami
winter.
Tasmanian doon.
Meron. Actually, Tasmanian Devil. Meron. And also yung winter type of vibe ng nature. Yun yung gusto ko sa Tasmania.
Dito Queenstown, kung saan kinasal si Ann
Queenstown. Ann
Curtis
Curtis.
and si
Invited
Erwan.
ako dun eh.
Philippines.
I would say Baguio.
Baguio.
I'm on
Oo,
like
no, pag
the
nature, Baguio,
gripping.
Sagada, and all those.
Yeah, this is really beautiful. Yeah.
Last, festival.
Festival would be Sydney. Mardi Gras. That's in Sydney.
Oh, yes. Sobrang sikat nun. Here, I would recommend yung Art Deco Festival sa Napier kung saan nagsusuot ng mga lumang stuff yung mga tao. Tapos lahat kayo mapapasuot na din. Lastly, Philippines, Gian.
Wow, that's very hard. There's so many
Ang
festivals here
dami,
that
no? Pero kung
na
pipili ka ng
sobrang
isa.
siguro I would
Nga.
say Iloilo. I think going Visayas, the Rojas. When I went to the sort of like something like ati-atihan, but they have a different version where they throw paint at you, which is like what I really enjoyed. So I can't remember the exact festival for that one, but yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Gian, for joining
Thank you,
us
Gian.
and for being
Sure,
so
sure.
mad for us. So, yes, papaalam na kami sa'yo. Thank you very
Bye, Gian.
much.
Thank you
No
very
worries.
much.
Thank you very much for
Yeah.
inviting me as well. Do I leave
Yes.
studio na?
Ha?
Do
Ha?
I leave studio na ba?
Hindi, bahala na siya. Bahala na si
Sino
Direk.
yung si Direk? Oo.
Sige.
Yes,
Sige, hintayin natin
thank you very
papagalitan ako.
Thank you again,
Thank you for
Gian.
joining us in this episode of Chicha
yes.
Fridays by I Am Mad on TNC. So get to know more about I Am Making a Difference and support our initiatives by following and messaging us on Facebook, facebook.com/I Am Making a Difference, or email us at iammadph@gmail.com. You may also listen to our volunteer stories on podcast directly and no sign-in required via anchor.fm/I Am Mad or search Mad Talks Podcast by I Am Making a Difference on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other platforms, and start your mad audio habit.
Yes.
I am Lord J. Cuyatas, Royal Sasha Jr. hailing from the land of milk and honey, streaming from Wellington, New Zealand, Kiara Koto Katoa from Aotearoa. This is Chill and Charity Fridays by I Am Mad on TNC, where we talk about love, living, learning, and of course, the magic of volunteerism. Let's do good, feel good, and talk good. And remember, charity begins at home and extends to the communities beyond our walls. Join us again next Friday at 6:30 p.m. Philippine Standard Time as we make the start of your everyday or every weekend lighter and lovelier with conversations that go far beyond politics and chismis.
Yeah, so as we end this episode, like we always do, let's treat ourselves with the Weekends Chicha Friday SSS, or special sound session. Chillax, watch, and listen to a song from ABS-CBN's Tawag na Tanghalan Season 3 Luzon Contender, and an artist from Teatro Rizal by Jose Rizal University, Eugene Satuito, singing his cover of Ikaw at Ako, an original by Jonoy Danao. I am your small J again, Jao Jundam, your nurse from the land down under, live streaming from the capital city of Canberra. Oh, Australia, Canberra. This has been Chicha Fridays by I Am Mad, para sa masayang bayanihan, chill na talakayan, charity at kulitan. Chi-chatters, Lord J, mad ka na ba?
Mad
Mad
na!
na!
Bye! Happy weekend!
Bye-bye.
Ikaw at ako pinagtagpo, nag-usap ang ating puso, nagkasundo, magsama habang buhay. Nagsumpaan sa may kapal, walang iwanan, taginito, tagulan, haharapin bawat tunos na magdaan. Sana'y di magmaliw ang pagtingin, kay taling sabihin, kay hirap gawin sa mundong walang katiyakan. Sabay nating gawing kahapon ng bukas. Ikaw at ako, pinag-isa, tayong dalawa'y may kanya-kanya sa isa't isa. Tayo ay sumasandal. Bawat hangat kaya abutin, sa pangambay di pa alipin. Basta't ikaw, ako, tayo, magpakailanman. Kung minsan ay di ko nababanggit, pag-ibig ko'y di masukat ng anumang lambing. At kung magkamali ako, ika'y saktan. Puso mo ba'y handang magpatawad? Di ko alam ang gagawin kung mawala ka. Buhay ko'y may kahulugan tuwing ako'y iyong agkan. Umabot man sa ating huling hantungan, kapit puso kita hahayaan, ngayon at kailanman. Ikaw at ako,
Hindi madali ang pinagdaraanan ng ating mundo. Hindi madali ang pinagdaraanan ng bawat Pilipino. Hindi madali ang humugot ng pag-asa sa panahong lubhang nakababahala. Ngunit sa kabila ng lahat, piliin mo pa rin na ang mga mata ay imulat. Piliin mo pa rin na ang kapwa ay sabay na iangat. Magbahagi ng tulong na nararapat. Hindi madali ang lahat. Ngunit anuman ang pinagdaraanan, nasa kamay at puso mo kung paano malalampasan. Maging bida para sa iba. Maging bida para sa isa't isa. Maging bida sa pagbibigay ng pag-asa.